I'm In with the ARCC is brought to you by StoredTech, your technology, our passion. And now here's your host for I'm In with the ARCC, Amanda Blanton.
Welcome to I'm In with the ARCC. Thanks for joining us today. I am your host, Amanda Blanton, Vice President, Marketing and Communications for the Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce. And today my guest is LeeAnne Ruff, founder of Brightside Leadership and Adirondack Woman. LeeAnne, welcome to the show.
Oh, I am really happy to be here. I love the opportunity to introduce myself to the community and tell people more about what it is that I'm doing. So,
I'm excited
thank you.
too. You're so welcome.
You.
So let's just get into it, right?
You bet. I'm no fluff rough. Let's go.
I love it. So who is LeeAnne Ruff? Tell us your story.
Well, in order for you to understand all the things that I'm doing now, I have to bring you way back.
Okay.
And I am that story that you hear about or maybe you read about in the paper of that baby that was abandoned.
Oh.
So I entered the world less than 5 pounds and 3 days old with a rubber band around my umbilical cord.
Oh my gosh.
Dropped off at the hospital.
Wow.
My birth mother was an educated woman, and she was totally thrown off track to find out that she was pregnant, and she did not expect to carry me full term. She did not want to carry me full term, never went to a doctor, and gave birth to me at home alone in her apartment. She hid the pregnancy from everyone. I was premature, like I said, less than 5 pounds, and she did not expect me to survive. But after 3 days, I was still there, still kicking.
Oh, wow.
And so she wrapped me up and brought me to the hospital and dropped me off and said, I don't want her. And so then I became a ward of the state. So this was in Massachusetts. So I was in the hospital for a few weeks until I was strong enough to get placed into foster care.
Wow.
After a few months, I met my parents. I was 5 months old when I went to live with my parents. And my mother, who was a registered nurse, immediately called and reported the foster family because I was covered in sores from not being taken care of properly. I was neglected.
Oh.
So the first 5 to 6 months of my life, I was alone and did not have anyone. You know, babies, I'm the mom of 4. You know, they're all grown adults now, but babies need that connection. That,
absolutely,
chest
from day one.
Chest and yeah. And so I didn't have that. And I grew up and lived my life, almost 59 years of life, without a sense of ever belonging. I don't have that. Those synapses in my brain just don't make that connection. And so I kind of built a life around helping people feel like they belong, which is not the same as fitting in, right? It's very different.
Yes.
So that trajectory took me on a path that I didn't quite realize until recently, why I really do the things that I do. I got married, had 4 amazing children, like I said, been married to my husband for 38 years. And when I was newly married with little kids, I became an entrepreneur. I built a really successful business with a company called The Pampered Chef. And I did over 1,000 kitchen shows. It was very successful. And I was consistently asked to speak. Come to conference, will you speak about this? I did a live kitchen show one time in front of thousands of people at our conference. And that was really successful for me.
Yeah.
But then, I am a person who's constantly searching and striving and trying to find my way in this world. And so I ended up going over onto the corporate side of the business, of direct sales, and had a very successful career with that.
Wow.
I worked at Beachbody, which is now called Body. But back in 2007, 2008, and those years, they had become a network marketing company as well.
Okay.
So I went over there and built out all their training in their back office for all their coaches. Because I had learned something when I was an entrepreneur, that there are 2 things that are pivotal to building a successful business.
Sure.
And they are, 1, understanding people. Mm-hmm. Relationships are critical. And number 2, systems. If you don't build in systems, then no one can duplicate what you do.
Well, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I went and built all these training systems and then had a very successful corporate career doing that for other direct sales companies.
Wow.
And I did that while I lived in Los Angeles because I have our youngest child is a performing artist. So she and I moved there for 5 years.
Oh, cool.
For her.
Yeah.
For her career, because I'm a big believer in you have a goal, you've got to do whatever you can to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we did that for our daughter with always the intent that I was going to come back.
Sure.
So I came back and continued my corporate career and then ended up taking care of my 2 parents. So I'm part of that sandwich generation.
Yep.
All my kids were gone in college, and then my parents needed help across the finish line.
Right. The caretaking role just transferred. Yeah.
It did. And on June 12th, 2017, I got a call for a company I was working for offering me a position as the head of sales as they launched another brand. And I was super excited. It was like the pinnacle of my corporate career.
Sure, yeah.
This amazing professional career. And 2 hours later, I got a call from my mother, and she had stage 4 lung cancer.
Oh, goodness.
But, this is what happens for people. This is true life.
That's
right?
true.
This is
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
the
yeah.
mental load that women carry.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that. I launched that company, and my mother passed away 6 months into that.
Okay.
So it was very pivotal to me as a person.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, I attended a Women in Business event. And I sat in the back of the room and I looked out of the back of all these heads of these young, up-and-coming, amazing women. And I said, who's going to tell them the truth? Who's going to be honest with them?
Yeah.
Who's going to show them that, there are lots of challenging things that are going to come your way.
Sure.
You're going to be faced with caring for someone. You're going to be faced with divorce, addiction, changes in your life.
Changes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Changes in your life. Who's going to tell them you're going to be okay? You're going to get through it. And at the same time, you can still have a career. You can still pursue the things that bring you joy.
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I listened and I said to myself, well, it's not happening here, so I guess I'm going to do it. So with that in mind, I started building my personal brand while I built my consulting business. So that led to many things. I'm a keynote speaker, and I have been since I was in, head of sales. You speak on a lot of stages.
Absolutely.
When you do that.
Yeah.
My last corporate role, there were 80,000 in our sales field in 17 countries.
Wow.
So it was a big job with a lot of responsibility and a lot of on stage time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when I transitioned out of that, I had a reputation as a speaker. So I started doing keynotes and traveling around the country doing keynotes.
Okay.
And building my consulting business back here in New York. And through that, like I said, I saw a real need in helping connect women. Mm-hmm. And so I launched ADK Woman, which started off as Adirondack Woman. But now that I'm down here, all the way down to the Capital District, I've decided, because I had someone say, is that like for biking, for women to go biking or hiking? I'm like, no, it's authentic, dynamic, and kind. That's who we are. And so I've kind of shifted into that branding because that's who we are.
Yeah.
And I've attracted over 250 women now who have joined and get to participate in all the amazing fun things that we do.
That's incredible.
Because here's the thing, women, they don't need a sales pitch. They need a friend. Mm-hmm. And when you can bring women together where they can say, oh, me too, me too, those are the most powerful 2 words in someone's life.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's the difference between fitting in and belonging. Right?
Absolutely.
When someone says to you, oh, I know how you feel. I went through the same thing. Mm-hmm. And that's how I know I've won, because that's exactly what I want to happen for women. I want to be the scaffolding.
Yeah.
we can't fix it for each other.
Right.
I can't come and help you and, stand next to you when you're going through something really challenging, but I can be there to say, you've got this. I went through this. Here's someone I know that could help you with this or whatever, right?
And share experiences, right?
Oh my gosh, that's what it's all about, is just being seen.
That's it, yeah.
People are craving being seen.
Yeah.
We were chatting before we got on this interview just about how, it's really challenging to really get to know someone unless you're sitting across the table from
100%,
right?
Yes.
So I'm building those tables.
Yeah.
I'm building them through an event called Friend Working, which is what we do at ADK Woman. And that's where there's no business cards unless you're asked for one.
Okay.
Yeah, I have set rules for how you show up.
Yeah.
It's not a potluck. You're not expected to bring a single thing. And it's not an escape room. You can come and go as you please.
I like that too.
Yeah. So I set up these events, and I have a breakfast meeting, a lunch meeting, a dinner meeting. I try to meet women where they are.
That's so cool.
And it's just been amazing.
Yeah. I think it's so easy to feel alone, right?
Absolutely it is.
Countless times you hear stories from people like, oh, I just felt so alone in this situation or in this scenario, until they realize that the human race, everyone is dealing with these problems,
we all
right?
think that we're going through something differently than someone else is until you are willing to step up, be vulnerable, share your story, and then listen. I think that one of the keys to being seen is seeing others. That means being more interested than interesting, and listening to someone else's story.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's really, really important. I had an event happen in my life when I was taking care of my mom. Now, my parents lived 6 hours away. I'm from the Boston area. And so when my mom was sick, I pretty much moved down there with my mom and dad. And I just remember feeling like I was in a fog. Just feeling like, does anyone realize my mom is dying? Does anyone not care? I'm at the grocery store. I'm like, everybody's just moving through life, and they don't realize that I am falling apart.
Right. Because you're holding it together on the outside, right?
Right, and just trying to do all the things, walking through the store, trying to find what would my mother eat today. And I was checking out, and I had, with some Ensure from my mom.
Sure.
And the woman checking me out was like, oh, do you have the club membership number or whatever? I'm like, I don't, but I'm sure my mom does. She's like, oh, put in your mom's phone number. So I put in my mom's phone number. Oh, yeah, she's a club member. So, are you visiting? I said, well, I'm here. My mom's in hospice care, and I'm here taking care of my mom. Well, that opened up a conversation, and the woman was like, oh, honey, I know what you're going through. I went through this with my sister, and she just starts, she saw me in that moment, right? Yes. She saw me in that moment. And when I went to check out, I put my credit card in, I go to leave. She walked around the cash wrap and gave me the biggest hug.
Oh.
That's the power of being seen. It was that moment of validation of like, what I am going through is really hard.
Right.
And there's other people that have done it too.
Absolutely. And in that moment, you were more than a transaction in her day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to bring more moments like that into the world. Yeah. Because I think we all need it.
Those are the moments that you will talk about. Here we are, right?
Right.
Clear example for years to come, stories you will share with others, and then in turn they may share their experiences.
And women just need a place to do that, to feel safe.
Absolutely.
And feel like, my story is, while it's different than someone else's, a lot of it is very similar.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
it has really propelled me in the last 4 or 5 years to become a voice for the mental load that women carry. And I was really blessed to be selected to be on an Oprah Winfrey program, one of her shows that she does down in New York City.
Well, that's really cool.
It was really exciting. It was very pressure filled, though,
I'm
because
sure.
they wanted me to talk about my experience and in the middle of an audience, and everyone's looking at you, and it's going out to the world, right?
Yeah.
And but I was honored. I was honored to be able to share my point of view.
That's
for
incredible.
Having gone through, the pinnacle of my career on the same day, the worst moment of losing my mom. So that was really an exciting time for me in my life as well. But it also gave me so much more courage.
Yeah.
And passion for what I do.
Absolutely.
So
every experience has led you to today.
Right. And so I build environments not only for ADK Woman, but through my consulting business. I work for different organizations, bring me in to help foster community within their teams, right? Whether it is a doctor's office, a nonprofit. I've worked for the whole gamut, and I've come in and I teach them. Over the years that I've learned, I've become a behavioral scientist and have learned quite a few methods.
That's really
of
cool.
Understanding driving core motive and how teams work.
Okay, yeah.
And one of the most important pieces to any team working is that everyone feels seen by everyone else, right?
Yep.
It's a lost art with technology.
Sure. And it's a common theme in your work.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And I know you've probably shared your story many, many times, but you had me on the edge of my seat in the best way.
Yes.
But it's very powerful what you have accomplished considering your not so great beginning, right?
Well, my mantra is and always will be, doesn't matter how you enter the world, it matters how you leave it.
Absolutely.
And so my entry into the world was dire and horrific. But I have had so many people in my life who have been a voice in my ear saying, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You are amazing. You are special. And so that, without that influence, I don't know if I would be sitting here right now. But
Fair.
my story, I share it, and I don't share it for pity. I share it for strength. For everyone has a story, right? There's no trauma that's better or worse than anyone else's because it's yours.
Yes.
And it's what you carry.
Absolutely.
And so I share mine because I want people to understand if I can do it, I can get over the worst trauma that a human being can experience, then so can you. So can you. And it's embracing your beginning so you can alter your end, right? And so I firmly believe that we all deserve a chance. And sometimes it's a second chance or a third chance.
Sure.
And we deserve to be heard, we deserve to be seen, and we deserve to be loved. And while I have a really hard time receiving love, I don't have those, those synapses, like I said, did not cross in my little baby brain. So while I have a very hard time receiving it, I understand the importance of it and how to give it.
That's good.
So I get to do that with what I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you mentioned kind of studying more and learning about how teams work.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
When I was at Team Beachbody, I was able to get certified in a few things so that I could lead the training there. And one of them is called the Color Code. It's behavioral science, and it's understanding driving core motive, which is, we all have taken all the different tests, right? We take Myers-Briggs, the Enneagrams, all of that. I can't remember what my initials are for Myers-Briggs. I can never remember. What am I? NSFJ? What am I?
Right.
But the Color Code takes it back a level.
Okay.
And it's what motivates you. Behaviors change over time because we experience life, and it changes the way we behave. It changes the way we are perceived. But you're born with one of 4 driving core motives. And it's all based on color, so that it's easy to remember. You're either red, blue, white, or yellow.
Okay.
So it's easy to remember that.
Yeah.
But when you understand what motivates someone, then it's really helpful to understand how you show up in that relationship. You are responsible for how you show up, not how they show up. And so I teach teams. And it's amazing because when I sit down with a team, it's like light bulbs. I see it like, oh, but my kids. Oh, but my husband. Oh, my sister. Like you think about all the people in your life, but when you know, like I had a boss who he was a red, which is driven by power, and it's not power. I want power over you. It's power like get this done. I want this done.
Yeah,
and it's like I realized that he wanted everything in a bullet point.
Okay,
right? That's on me to understand how he likes to receive information.
Sure.
I am a blue. I want everything detailed. I'm like, I need it to be perfect. I would like send him these long emails with all the details and show him I did all this research. He didn't care.
Right. He wants the bullet point.
Yeah. He's like, give me the answer in the subject line, like that kind of thing. So, but teams work more effectively when you understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you understand each other.
And same with families.
Yeah.
When I realized my youngest daughter is a yellow, and even though I was telling her, pick up your room, I'd go down an hour later and she's playing on her guitar. I'm like, it's because she's not motivated by getting it done.
Yep.
She sees a shiny object or something that's more fun.
Right.
She's motivated by that.
That's what she wants to do.
So I had to change up my way, like put your socks in the drawer. I had to be just more specific for her. I couldn't give her a wide open, here's 2 hours to get this done.
Yeah.
Right? So when you understand that with the people you work with, it gives you a much more effective team dynamic.
That makes sense.
Yes.
It does. Yeah.
So Brightside Leadership is where I go and I get to do all of that. And I say get to because I absolutely love turning on the levers of success for corporate clients as well as my personal clients.
That's wonderful.
We all deserve it. We all have it in us. Sometimes you just need someone to help you adjust the dial.
Absolutely. Yes. So we have a couple minutes left, LeeAnne. What do you absolutely want to say today about yourself and your work?
I think one of the most important things that I want to leave everyone with is that we all have the power to be seen and to see others. And there is a clear framework for doing that. And it's something that I've developed, and I have just finished a book that I've written called The Seen Standard. It may not stay the name, but that's what it is right now. But it's all about see yourself first, engage like a human, establish rituals, and notice people. One of the biggest hurdles I have found when I go to all the networking events that I go to, because I'm an introvert, I have a very hard time making that first conversation. And I show up alone, and I always leave alone. And I like to tell people and coach them on never leave someone alone. Always walk out with someone, right? That's the power of being seen. If you're in a work environment and there's someone who always eats lunch by themselves, go sit with them.
Yeah.
When you're checking out of the grocery store, like one of the reasons I will stand in line instead of going through the self-checkout is so that I can say hello to the person that's there. Because when you do that, when you see other people, it is one of the best ways for you to be seen. And we all want that, right? So there's a lot of ways that you can do that, and it is critical right now in our society. We are dealing with an epidemic of loneliness. I read a statistic recently that just as many individuals die from loneliness that die from smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Holy moly, that's harrowing.
This is a fact that was just released, and I believe it because we have this false sense of we're connected.
Right, through technology.
Right. We're seeing the highlight reel, but not the real.
Absolutely.
And I'm really trying to change that, both in a work environment and in the tables that I am building and inviting people to.
That's wonderful to hear.
Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's huge. I think the words you're saying make sense, but it's about implementing it into your everyday life, right? And it might take some time.
Right.
But it's worth it.
Right, exactly. I'm looking at different events that I go to. I'm like, everyone should be sitting in a circle.
Yeah.
Because that's where you see each other. Right. There's ways that you can create an event that make it easier for people to feel seen. And I do a speed networking event called The Room right now that every time I do it it fills up within 2 days.
Yeah.
Because women have caught on that this is a different kind of speed networking where guided conversations. It's not, what do you do? You're not allowed to say that.
Got it.
You're only allowed to say your first name.
I love that.
To the end, right? Because we show up at these events and we see people as a utility, not as a human.
Right. What's your title? What do you do?
What do you do?
When you're so much more than that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not what you do, it's who you are. And then I'll find out what you do, and I'll know how to help you.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference. It's a switch that is easy to make, and it makes a huge impact on how people feel when they leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Amazing. It is. Absolutely. Yeah. LeeAnne, I know we could have talked for hours.
For sure.
But if anyone's listening and they're maybe encouraged by your words or want to learn more about these amazing events you're hosting, how can we find out more?
Absolutely. You want to definitely go to adkwoman.com. Join us. You can join for free to check it out. Or you can check out my website, which is LeeAnneRuff.com. Sign up for my newsletter. It's called Shift Happens, and I send that out with my favorite thoughts. And I also have a Substack now, so just look me up on Substack.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, LeeAnne. I appreciate, again, you sharing your story, giving us words of encouragement, and really just letting us know that it could be that simple, right?
It is.
Be seen and see others.
Well, thank you. Thank you for allowing me the time to do that.
You're so welcome. And that's all the time we have for today on I'm In with the ARCC. Be sure to tune in next week.